Welcome to the Mill Brook Railroad. Today, I want to talk a little bit about procrastination, dreams, and how much time we think we have when we may not have as much time as we think we have. I know there's a circular way of saying it, but I think Cody Johnson put it best in his song, Till You Can't. It's kind of what this video is about. So, a little context here. I had a viewer call me up on the phone the other day, and young man, 19 years old, and I think he wanted some encouragement for how to get started building a 7.5-inch gauge railroad. And the advice I gave him was, don't wait until you're retired. Because by the time you're retired, well, first of all, not everybody makes it till you're retired. And those that do often don't have the energy they had when they were 19. So my advice was, if you're 19 and you want to build a miniature railroad, find a place that'll let you do it and go do it. There's a lot of details in that doesn't necessarily fit in a video, but well, maybe it could fit in a series of videos. Anyway, I guess my point is, if you have a dream, whatever that dream is, find some like-minded individuals who will share that dream with you, and just do it. That's kind of the philosophy that my friend Tony from the Shady Pines used to have when he was still around. And you know, if he had waited any longer to build his railroad, he started building it 10 years ago. If he had waited much longer, maybe 5 years, he wouldn't have built as much as he did. He wouldn't have had as much fun. He would have missed out on some great trips that we took up to Canada, down to southern New Hampshire, other places like that. So, if you're wanting to get into a hobby, you don't have to spend any money to do it, to start. Sure, you'll eventually spend money in a hobby, eventually. When we're first starting, all you gotta do is help somebody with their hobby and learn about it. And then go from there. And that's kind of the point of the whole video here. If you got a hobby, share it. If you want to get into a hobby, or even if it's a vocation, anything at all, you got a dream, chase it. It's not going to chase you back. You got a chance. You may never get that chance again. Take the chance. It's going to be worth it. Even if you fail, it's going to be worth it, because you're going to end up learning something. Failure isn't always a bad thing. Failure could be just another lesson learned, or as Thomas Edison put it, after failing umpteen 100 times making a successful light bulb, he said, well, now I know how many ways won't work to get a successful light bulb. And some projects will take a long time to build. Building a railroad, for instance. We're on roadbed that has been dug a couple of times over the past 5 years. This fill I'm standing on was mostly done by hand. It goes up 4.5 feet from the forest floor here. That's a lot of digging and a lot of shoveling and a lot of dumping by hand. That's why it takes so long. And you know, that brings me to another point. Just because something takes a long time doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Sometimes it's those things that take a long time that are maybe the most worth doing. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Maybe that's what all life is about. Who knows? I'm not an expert in that. There are people smarter than me who know more than I do and know better than I do. I just know what I've observed, what I've learned over the years. And I've given myself time to think about things. Because sitting and mulling things over is another great life skill. Then getting more information. Don't be afraid to not know something. There's plenty I don't know. There's plenty I don't know about forestry. And yet, I'm sort of in a little bit of a forestry role as I get into the back of my property. There's plenty I don't know about chicken farming. But here I am. Just got more chickens. There's plenty that I don't know about building a railroad track. But there's also plenty that I've learned by building a railroad track. And it's those lessons that are important. Little life lessons. Sometimes the things you'll learn about a project like this have nothing to do with the project itself, and you really learn more about yourself. That's probably the best thing about big projects like this. You learn how to have more patience, if you allow yourself to have more patience. You learn how to work with people, if that's what you want to do, is work with people. And eventually you build a community, if that's what you want to do. And that's what I encourage people to do who want to build miniature railroad tracks. Build a community around it. It's a lot more fun when you share it. Sure, it's fun to just go out and ride around the rails on your own, but it's a whole lot more fun when you got a bunch of buddies to share that with and encourage them to get into the hobby. It goes right back down to, you don't need a penny to get into this hobby. All you need is to find a friend, a like-minded individual who's already in it, who wants to share it with somebody. So there we go. That's my lesson for today, I guess, is if you have a miniature railroad or you want to build a miniature railroad that is a rideable one, well, anything, any hobby, share it with somebody. Build a community. You'll be less lonely for it. Other people will be less lonely for it. And you'll spread goodwill at the same time. It's all up to what you actually want to do and actually put an effort to. So thanks for watching today's video. Kind of a different one. As we take a little bit of a walk in the woods here. Some of this is where there will be railroad tracks, some of this isn't. So, if you'd like to know more about the Mill Brook Railroad, well, keep watching, subscribe, share, like the video, and YouTube will show it to you more often. Hit the bell notification icon if you don't want to miss a single video. And Of course, you can always go over to Patreon, patreon.com/Mill Brook Railroad, where paid members get early access to videos and exclusive content. I don't know how I'm going to build a railroad through here, but I'm going to do it one way or another.